So if I want to put my foot in exactly the place I want it to go, again, your foot is the furthest part from your brain, right? So if I go in here, I want to start connecting to things that are a little bit closer to me that I can control. Because if I put my knee here and my foot goes out, my knee leads my foot. I teach this with soccer players all the time. If I'm striking a ball, think about your knee going where you want the ball to go and your foot will follow. If you think of your foot, your knee can go all over the place and then you're not striking the ball right. So it's the same with foot placement. If I think of bringing my knee down where I want my knee to go, the foot will follow. So wherever I take my knee, my foot will go. So start thinking about how can I have my knee lead my foot. So when I'm stepping out, I'm not leading with my foot, I'm leading with my knee. The other thing that you'll notice is when you lead with your knee, your foot will be underneath you. When you lead with your foot, sometimes it can be further away. So that's the beginning of realigning the anatomical direction of your body by taking your knee to where you want it to go. And just, if you want to look down and think, I'm going to take my knee to where I want my foot to go, and watch how the foot begins to follow. Now, the second part of that is the issue of the toe dropping down and not being able to, again, lift up. So it's a form of different degrees of a drop foot. Well, that comes again from strengthening up down the front, but also strengthening along the tendons of the toe. And this can take time because we have to re-engage the strength and get the feeling. So the feeling in here is even if the foot's not moving, put your feet on the ground and have the brain think of pulling your toe up. Not your foot, just your toes. So if I was in here doing this exercise, what I'm trying to do is this. Right? I'm not working on the foot because this won't lift the foot, but what we're doing is we're going past the action of lifting the foot to the end and working our way back again. So as I begin to do this, and look, I know I've worked with people, sometimes they can't do that, but they feel like they're doing it. And by feeling like they're doing it, it's sending the messaging. And you do that, I don't want to say I'd bet anything on it because I'd never lie to anybody, but if you're doing this for a week and you can't get it to move, within 7 days of doing this, you'll begin to feel the toes begin to move. It's a long process back, but if you start today, you're one day closer than waiting for tomorrow or giving up on it or stopping it. It will only get further away the longer you wait. So you could be sitting on watching TV and just try and pull those toes up while you're watching TV. Just the toes, not the foot. Then we go to the next point where you've now got your toes coming up a little bit. Now rock back on your heel as you pull the toe up and see if you can pick up the ball of your foot off of the ground. Sounds so easy, I know it's not. But it's a small progression to start having that action. Then using the board. What I would do, let me turn it sideways so you can see. I would put my toe against the board and try and keep my toe in alignment with my foot as I'm lifting my knee. I hope that makes sense to you, because what would naturally happen is this would naturally happen. It would drop, or this would happen. What I want you to do is try and think, I'm pulling up my toes, I'm trying to rock on my heel. Now I'm just going to hold it. I'm just going to hold it in place and see if I can keep that foot in perfect alignment. And then we're in great shape to be able to, again, keep the strength. And eventually, you're going to pull that toe up and tap the heel on the board. And now we've got back to the ability to control the front of the foot and have that strength to not drop foot or drag the toe as you're walking. Let me just put this back on again. And then as far as using the board for that, it's very simple. As I'm in here, I just rock. And as I'm rocking, you'll notice my toes are coming up off of the board by just leaning back on the heel a little bit. And then eventually I'll just start lifting my feet and thinking of pulling up my toe in a walking motion where I'm stable with the poles. Hope that one helped. Great questions. Everyone's questions are great. Okay, Jen, going on to yours with the oval leg swing. It's exactly the same thing. If I'm walking and my leg just tends to do this as I'm going, I'm guessing this is what it is, the leg's coming out. Don't think of the foot is the furthest way away. And you're gonna have to do this going slow. Think of your knee pushing forward. My knee pushes forward, because where your knee goes, your foot will follow. I can't take my knee forward and my leg go out, but we need to retrain the alignment of your muscular movement and make it that it's following through. Now, if there's a problem with the hip that's forcing it because taking it forward, there's a clicking going on, there could be some form of tightness that's in there, there could be some scar tissue that the comfort goes in. You're gonna have to get that removed or loosen it up. Heat pads, and again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not gonna be a physical therapist to tell you what to do. Address that if there's pain, but if there's not pain and it's just become a habit, we change the habit with good repetition. So to do that, I would just be doing this exercise, thinking of, oops, I lost my balance there. Think of where my knee's going. Can I take my knee forward and not allowing this to happen? Another thing that you can do, and this is something I'm just making up on the spot, I would turn the board the opposite way around. I'd turn the clips out. I would stand this side and I would try and bring my knee up. I've never done this before, so this is just, again, looking at the problem. How do I get alignment? And just bring it up so my knee goes inside the pole. If it hits the pole, I know I'm training it wrong. So I begin to do this exercise to get alignment. And then obviously, once you begin to feel that, you can step on the board, look at your knee and bring it forward, or even step on the middle and step into here, so that again, your knee goes to the inside of the pole. I wouldn't do it on two because this is an unnatural movement. I'm talking about both feet on two to bring it up. We want to bring the feet close together and just step into here. If you want it with the rock, put your foot on the middle and you'll feel that rock going. So that would be my quick suggestion for you if I was working with you personally one-on-one, is we start realigning the hip. Okay, there's a few more to go. Thank you so much for hanging in here because I know it's a long day. Bob, severe frozen gait. So again, what happens is you're fine doing this, but once you speed up your feet, you can't. It's like you're stuck at one pace. So what I would do in here is I'd step on one, and I would go at a pace in here that's normal for you, right? Your maximum pace of moving. Then what I would do is I would just bring my heels up. If I did it sideways, I'd bring my heels up and try and increase the speed of the movement of my feet. Again, I'm not lifting my feet, I'm not changing, I'm getting the fast twitch fibers to get used to moving a little bit faster. We've got to increase the ability of movement fast. Then from there, I would start lifting my feet slightly. You might go back to your same gait. So what I would do is I'd just do one leg in here, moving it faster, so I'm not walking and getting it used to going faster on one leg. Then I would pick up and eventually I'd go into where I begin to increase my speed of gait. Now, gait is obviously, we're not increasing the distance of step forward and step back, but by increasing this motion, and you will have seen this in class, by increasing the speed and the ability for the feet to move faster, then I would take it into here, where I just step and back and step and back and begin to increase the distance of the gait stride of stepping here. So I lengthen my gait, and then to finish up with, obviously we do both sides of here and get my gait slightly more forward. Then I would step back off of the board and I'll start running and then running and then running and changing to then be in a position where I could walk a little bit faster. That's how I would, again, address it if I was working with you one-on-one. And it may take a while to do, but we'd certainly work on that for sure. Autumn, climbing stairs. This one's so good. This is one of the issues that Bob had. So, again, climbing stairs is very simple. You step on the board, you lift, you push, you lift. So instead of rocking side to side, I push on the board, I lift, I push on the board, I lift, I push on the board, I lift. So you begin to strengthen the leg with a push, because when you step on stairs, you strengthen. Then we'd go to here, I'd step slightly further back, I'd lunge on the board, Then I'd push, I'd come back and down. Lunge, up, here, and down. So we're really working on the leg strength to push up, no different than if I was here, push, push, push. We're getting that motion. Then if I wanted to increase the strength, I'd then go into a lunge. I'm here, push, same leg working, not changing legs. So I'm strengthening one leg, then I'll strengthen the other leg into here, because again, walking up and down stairs isn't so much balance as it is strength. Balance on the stairs will give you, because of your pressure point on the foot, but it won't, but the pressure point puts you in a position to then use your body strength to walk up and down the stairs. Now, as far as going down the stairs, that's a different story. So let me turn this one this way. What I would do is I'd turn the board to the front, I would stand on one side, and I would step down with one foot and push back up again. So I'd work on this motion of going down, knowing that the pole's here, and maybe stepping up. As I step down, then I'm stepping back into here. So again, I step down, I step back. So I start learning, put my weight on the front leg, and then push back again. Put my weight, if you notice as I'm doing this, I'm not leaning forward, I'm actually keeping my weight on my back leg. I step on the front and let the weight go to the front, then I push back. So my weight's on my back leg, I step on the front, and then I step back up. So my weight's on my back leg as I step. I now step on here and step back up. And if I wanted to be more specific, I'd go my toe, let me move this back so you can see. I'd go my toe to my flat to back up. So I'd feel the step, I'd go flat, my weight, and I'd push back up. So my weight's on my back leg, I feel my toe, I feel the heel, my weight's there, and I'd step back up. Now, just so you know, I wouldn't take the back foot off, because as I do the board rocks, I don't want the board rocking. And obviously on the other foot, I'm here, my toe, my heel, my weight, but I still have some weight on the back leg, and that's how you begin to train to go up and down stairs. All right, hope that helps, Autumn. And again, doing them slow, it's great. A little quick tip here from Debbie. You said sometimes if you have frozen gait, you look at your feet first, and it helps with your brain connect. I haven't done that. It sounds great. I love when people give tips. What we want to do is get to the point where you can feel it, but if it's not working, that's a great tip in there. So Bob, I hope that helps as well, and thanks for sharing that tip. Last couple that were in here, we're almost done. Barbara, you had sent a message going up steps. You have to put left foot on each step because you've got a weakness in the right. Okay, Barbara, great. So what we want to do here, very similar to the last exercise, is focus on the right leg. But the way we're going to do that today is you're going to put your right foot on 1 and your left foot on 3. And what I want you to do is start by rocking. You'll notice your right leg works a lot more than your left leg. So I'm pushing across here. This has been a long class today. I hope it's been good. And I know people will have had to jump and go, but I hope this has helped educate. So let's think about this. You've got a weakness on your right leg. How do I correct the right leg? Whichever leg you want to strengthen, put it closest to the middle and the other leg further away. So now I push on that leg to rock, and I'm beginning to strengthen that leg. Then bring it to a balance. And what's happening is you're really strengthening that right leg. And it won't be easy, it won't just happen, but you'll be in a good position. Then you're going to step and step on 1 and push. So I step on 1 and push, and I step on 1 and push, and I step on 1. So now your weight is really transferring closest to the middle, so you're strengthening up that leg. The next thing I would do is bring your foot to the middle and try and balance on 1 leg and do a slight knee bend and push, and a slight knee bend. And the reason I have this on the center with a little wobble is because it's wobbling, you're controlling your balance, which means you're really creating this strength in the quad muscle for dynamic tension. So it's a whole dynamic tension strength. So if I begin to go this side, my leg can support the wobble. If it goes to the inside, my leg can support the change in my foot pressure. And those are the exercises that I would start off with to strengthen your right leg. And then eventually start going onto the board, stepping where you step with your right leg first. And again, because you want to go up steps, you want to go left to right, I would start going, in there, I would lift the leg higher as if you were stepping up. Lift up and step back with the right foot closest with the left as if you were in a stair situation. My right leg's behind, I bring it up higher and I push. I step the right leg back further. And those are the exercises that I would have you do in there as well. And I think we got one more, which was getting out of a chair. This is the last exercise for today. Move the board out the way. Well, let me do this with the board first. We addressed this a little bit earlier, and I hope I'm not over-repeating, but I would step my feet on one and one, because that's normally how we sit, and I would just try and find my balance so I got strong on both legs, equal pressure. Then I would push my butt back as if I was pushing it against a wall, and then I slide my hands down and I push back up. So this is just a small little exercise to be able to have your legs get stronger on the final third or final half of stand. If I did it from the side, you'll see I'm coming from a chair in here, my hands are down, and then I slide back up. So if I go down, my hands go with me into this position here. So my butt goes back as if I'm in a chair. But how to get out of a chair, you don't need your legs 100%, you need your body 100%. So I sit here to get out of a chair. Often we'll put our hands here, and as we go, you notice that my hands are pulling me back, so it makes it harder. So what we want to do here is slide your butt to the edge of the chair, bring your feet underneath you, put your hands on your knees, lean forward, and push with your hands up. It's very, very simple to do, but again, you want to start by sliding your butt to the edge of the chair, put your hands here and push. Let me show you from the side. This is the last exercise today. So I'm sitting in a chair, I'm relaxed, I'm watching TV, I'm at dinner with my friends, family's over, I want to get up and I want to feel comfortable. I may have to move the chair back a little bit first. Now what I do is I scoot my butt to the end, I bring my feet underneath me so I'm closest to the center, I put my hands on my knees, and notice my body angle is not upright. I'm not trying to stand up, I'm standing forward up. So now I'm in this angle, my hands are here, this helps with my hands being here to be in alignment. Then I roll onto my feet and I push forward and back. So from here I push forward and back and I'm up. And the more you push with your hands, the easier it is. So I'm here, I scoot to the edge, bring my feet under, I'm here, and I push up. I do it one more time. You're here, scoot to the edge, bring your feet back, hands here, push with your upper body, and that helps you lift. So that is, that's the end of the workout for today. It was a long, long workout. I really appreciate you sticking with me. It wasn't normal, but I think there's something in here for everybody, and every exercise is something that it's a way to, what's the right word? Preventative. If you feel issues coming on, you can address it that way as well. Just grab my water. So let me just go back through, that was a long class today, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy obviously helping people. So just going through here, term A. Yeah, it's tough when it's tight. Sometimes you feel like you're in a cocoon, you want to break out, absolutely. Going to Kim Robinson, didn't say hi to you earlier, so hi to you. Sammy, you're in there as well. Barbara, thanks so much for being part of this. Wyman, thanks so much again for showing up. Bonnie, I'm glad you said you have trouble, the instruction about getting up when you fell flat on the floor was helpful. You have trouble getting up from a floor when in a sitting position. Okay, so when you're in a sitting position, what I would do is roll over and get onto my knees at that point, and then put one foot forward and stand up that way. It's very hard when you're in a sitting position to get up and stand up. I don't even know if I could do that from a sitting position, just roll forward and stand up, but I certainly would go to one side. Maybe not onto all fours, but I'll look at that. That's an interesting question. So Yeah, very interesting. Let me see really quickly. So if I'm in a sitting position here and I want to get up, I would normally roll onto one hip, put one leg over. Now I can put one hand on the ground, one hand on my hip. I push onto my knee, and now I can stand up. So that's probably how I would do it, breaking it down really quickly. I'm in a sitting position here. I would keep, depending on which way you want to stand up, I'd keep one hand on the ground, take one leg, roll onto the outside of your hip, put the other hand on the knee, push onto one leg. Now my back foot is tucked under. I can put both hands up and come up. That's probably how I would do it. If you want more information on that or to break it down even more, let me know. But it wants to be obviously well thought out and what works for you. But I'll do that. Roll onto one hip, one hand on the ground, cross your leg over, hand on the hip, on the knee, hand on the ground, and then go onto one knee and stand up. Standing crunch, traditional, is so hard on your back and neck. Amy, absolutely. I know that's really tough. The neck, that's why I say just tuck the chin in when you're doing sit-ups so it doesn't become here, and just roll. Water break, thanks. Barbara, the most fit old person ever. I'm never going to be old, so you're almost right. I'm always going to be young and just whatever comes along. That's my new challenge, because whatever comes along, I'm wiser, and so I'll address the issues smartly. Okay, sounds good, doesn't it? Deborah, thank you so much. Amy, the board's an amazing tool. Thanks so much for recognizing that. It's I get more excited when I'm working on it than when I'm talking about it, because real life action like today's been really invigorating for me. So thanks so much. To get back and go to the basics of when I created it, helping Bob Eubanks, and how we broke things down and sharing that information. Brilliant. Amy, Deborah, you're most welcome. Thank you. Amy, I think we addressed if there's nothing to pull up on. Bonnie, from sitting to getting up, I hope I just did that. Beth, thank you so much for being here. Again, I know it's a long class, but I love the fact that I can engage. Deborah, Debbie, Donna, Debbie, thanks again for the tip on there. Amy, you need water, Dan. Thanks, Teach. You're my coach now. Thank you. I know. When I get caught up in teaching and giving information, I get excited. No, I totally get it, Sammy. You've gone. You found all the information. Yeah, you found all the information. Great. That's great. Thanks so much. Autumn, thank you so much. Craig, thanks so much to you as well. Bonnie, I just did that. Hopefully you saw that getting up from the floor. Autumn, very helpful. Really appreciate it. George, you always call me Danny boy. It reminds me of a kid when I was growing up. I knew I was okay. If they called me Daniel, I was in trouble. If it was Danny boy, I was okay. Debbie, so helpful. Thanks so much. Dan, really appreciate your support, and look forward to engaging you more on here as well. I know that you got a mine of information that will be so inspiring for people as well. Jen, thanks so much. Pat, awesome always as well. You have a great day, Terry. I'm glad it was informative. Again, sorry it went on so long, but I don't apologize, because we don't know what piece of information helped somebody. And if I help one person have more hope, actual reality results, understanding more how to help themselves, doing those type of things, it's worth every second. So thank you so much. Vicky, you're going to go on to, you plan to do YouTube now. Yeah, it wasn't a workout today, it was an educational process, but the educational process is better than just doing a workout and relying on that. You know more, and you can create your own solutions as well. So that's fantastic. Have a great workout, Vicky. George, there's Danny boy. Amy, thanks so much. Bonnie, I hope I addressed the getting up off of the ground. And if you want me to go over more detail in that, please let me know. So anyway, love to you all. Thanks so much for being here. I have no idea what time it is. I'm going to click on. I'm going to think we did probably an hour and a half there, is going to be my guess. Anyway, love to you all. See you on Thursday. And I've got some new news coming up on Thursday about a new instructor we're bringing in that I'm so excited to introduce. She's going to be fantastic as well. Along with Kathy, we're building an incredible team to help every single one of you. And we're going to start doing workouts as well, not on the board, so we can get back to everyday activities as well. Anyway, love to you all. Have a great rest of the day and thanks so much for being here. Cheers.